Mohammed?
Hello?
Hi, Mohammed?
No, this is Ali.
Oh, hey, Ali, this is Dan Poneman.
Yeah, hold on, please.
Okay.
Dan.
Hi, Dan. How are you?
Mohammed, when I got back, I don't know if I mentioned I was in the Middle East last week, so...
I see. Okay. Well, I think things started to move, quite well, actually. I don't know if you followed. I was invited a couple of days ago by the military council or the head of the military and his chief of staff was just two or three good people. Sawiris, he's this businessman, billionaire, and Amr Musa, and a few of them judiciary, heads of the judiciary in Egypt, and we had a good discussion, and I was in contact with the chief of staff for the last couple of days because they wanted to get the country back to normal, and they asked what would it take to get the country back to normal, particularly the demonstration and the sit-ins and stuff. And I had meeting at that day in the evening with the young people, and I told Anand that what it takes is the prime minister who was appointed by Mubarak to leave, and in fact they sacked him this morning, and so what we are doing now is to try to make sure that tomorrow hopefully things will just go back to normal, and then we will continue the dialogue on how to move through. Possibly we have a different proposal is to have a constituent committee to have a new constitution, and then afterward have a presidential election based on a new constitution. So we are working on the next stage, but at least we establish a bridge with them there, which is quite good actually. Dan.
Yeah, that sounds good. Actually, when I got back, I had a chance to talk to Bill Burns, and he told me that you had a good conversation, and I heard from Bill that you had been in this conversation with Tantawi. So that sounds like it's continuing, that it was not just a one-time thing, but you've now got sort of an open channel?
That's correct. I think I've been in contact with the chief of staff, Anand. He's the numbers. I mean, he's the chief of staff, not the minister. And I've been in contact with him the last couple of days, trying to tell him, what the young people need to stop them sitting in and demonstrating, and that their obsession or bottom line was the prime minister of Mubarak should be sacked, and he was sacked this morning. And right now, I've been on the phone with everybody, the young people, the brotherhoods, and everybody to make sure that we then respond properly tomorrow and not have, again, a demonstration tomorrow. And I told Anand today that we will continue the dialogue, and then I think the next step will be to try to work with him and as much how we have a smooth transition through a new constitution and proper presidential election, and then hopefully later on a parliamentary election, because a parliamentary election right now, as I told Bill, would only benefit the ruling party and the brothers. The ICE was a good thing then, but I would hope that if we have this dialogue, then we can maneuver things in the next 6 months in the right direction.
Yeah, that sounds good. So in terms of when you think this presidential election could or should be, what is your current thinking? What are you thinking about that?
Well, I'm thinking that we would first have to have a constituent committee to have a new constitution, because the old constitution that we still suspended is really a completely hodgepodge of the authoritarian system. So what we are going to propose to them is that they will have a constituent committee, and then within the next 6 months we'll have a new constitution that will be put to referendum. And in the meantime, we'll have all the administrative work that is needed, to prepare for presidential election. In other words, how to vote, free and guarantees for free and fair election, Egyptian abroad to have the right to vote, all that stuff. And then immediately, maybe within 5 months or whatever, if we have a new constitution, then we'll have a presidential election shortly after. The army does not want to stay in power more than 6 months. I mean, they really want to get out. I think they have a financial problem, and that's something you might need to know, that they are very short of money, and they are panicky a little bit about that. They need like $10 billion just to get them to pay the salaries. and what have you. Then they also have a security issue because most of the police force has been disbanded. So these are the two issues on Tantawi's mind, is basically how to get the money, and I think they're trying to get some money from the Gulf. Hopefully, I think myself or Sawiris or other might go to Europe or to you. I mean, they need money, and obviously the security is an issue on their mind. And the third thing, they want to get the country back to normal, and that's why they were still very unhappy with all this demonstration and stuff. And if we manage now with this, the prime minister is being out. If we manage now to get the country back to some way of normalcy, in other words, the army gradually withdraw from the streets, open the movies, get the schools to open, then I think we're moving in the right direction. So that's where we are. They really didn't have much of a clue other than they want to get out of this 6 months and deliver the good, the hot potato to whoever. That is their main concern. But of course, it's much more complicated. We're trying to look into the 6 months beyond, and what we are going to propose to them, hopefully, is how to transfer power in a orderly way to a civilian president, and then under a proper democratic constitution. So we'll hope they would listen. But I think, as I said, once we have now a beginning of a dialogue, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, that is a good thing. So in terms of how they think they will handle their security problem in the police forces, what are they thinking of doing?
Oh, I don't know very much. I mean, and this is something maybe your people, they have a shortage of police in the streets, and they say the army cannot last at all more than the 6 months, and that's why they want to wrap up things in 6 months, and they definitely need help in augmenting the police force in the country. And maybe then I think this is a major priority for them, and maybe you can help them through some technical assistance. I mean, that's really the number one issue for them. I mean, the money is a different one, but the security is I think they are a bit at a loss, how to get that. And if your people, that's my number one recommendation to you, is if you can help them through technical assistance in getting back law and order in the street.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll share that when I'm going to be seeing some people later today. But one other question, in terms of the sequencing of all this, are you thinking that since they're determined to leave in 6 months, that you would do this constitutional convention in parallel with preparing for the presidential elections?
Yes, exactly, because they want to leave in 6 months, so we want to do the preparation simultaneously with the assembly or whatever group which will have the constitution. We'll work on the two simultaneously. Well, that is my idea, and some of people I've been talking to this morning. And I think if once we have this, worked out on a piece of paper, I think we will ask me and Sawiris, to go and privately to see Annan and give him this paper and try to explain to them that this would be the best way to proceed.
Yeah, and so then you have the constituent thing in like 5 months and the presidential election in 6 months kind of thing?
Yeah, both. I mean, I think if we have the constitution after 4 months, put the referendum or so, then 2 months after we have the presidential election. Correct.
I got you. Okay. Well, listen, this is the best you've sounded since I've been talking to you lately. So this is
exactly. Exactly. Yeah. It's first time when you see things at least they started at least to understand. As you can imagine, talking to the military, it's a different wavelength. But hopefully now we started to build some trust and dialogue, and we can. I'm still hopeful, and if I need to talk to you, I will talk to you. But right now, help on the law and order, then it would help him a great deal. And frankly, if you can help them in any way with some money, I don't know the details. But Tantawi is panicky on this $10 billion they need for. I know they are. I think basically on my reading in the newspaper that they are also contacting some of the Gulf states. But you can maybe through you get some of the Gulf states to pump some money here, cash, because they need to pay salaries.
Okay. Well, I just came back from the Gulf actually. So, all right. Well, listen. This is really very encouraging. Share this obviously with my colleagues, but it sounds like you're now you've had a good chance to visit with Bill, and you're in regular contact with Margaret Scobie?
Yes, I mean, she called me yesterday. I gave her a readout of what I've been my meeting with the military. Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, I told Bill also that if in my view, I mean, since you have been a main player, this is also a time to try to re-engage Iran, because at the time when the region is exploding in many ways, you need to get Iran and Turkey on your right side for obviously for different reasons. And I think still the Brazilian Turkish proposal could be the beginning of a dialogue. And I told Bill, I'm now a private person, so and Ali Salehi is a very good friend, so I can peddle ideas with him as my own ideas if you need that. But anyway, I'm sure you have contact. But my overall recommendation is that you need to get them on your side. They could be a source of stability, at least in Afghanistan, Iraq right now, when we are handling what's happening in the Arab world around now.
Yeah, I lost you for a second. The person you said you were in touch with is Salehi. Is that what you said?
I could be in touch with him anytime. He's a very good friend. He's now the foreign minister, as you know, and he has been ambassador to Vienna for a year. So I haven't talked to him, but I can talk to him if you think it's useful, or if you think there are some ideas to peddle with him. But I can peddle it. Obviously, it's my own. You are not in the picture at all.
I have on that particular topic. I have not talked to anybody lately about that, but I'll share your thoughts on that. I was in Riyadh also. I have had good contacts with our Turkish colleagues, and I think we're really being quite close with them.
Great.
So that's
great.
I agree.
I told Bill this idea. Actually, in a couple of hours, I might see the Turkish president and foreign minister. They are here for a few hours, so I might go and see them. And again, I will tell them to keep active and keep the dialogue with Iran.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen. This is the best you've sounded since January 25th. So I'm very encouraged. And we'll be in touch.
I think the most important and urgent, Dan, I think people should know is that law and order right now.
I got it. All right. Well, listen. This is very, very helpful. I'm going to be, as always, consulting with my colleagues. Anytime you want to get back to me if something's happening that needs some urgent attention or reaction, let me know. But
sure.
Otherwise, let's stay in touch from time to time as we're doing.
Sure, Dan. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
All right. Have a great day. Thanks, Mohammed.
Thanks a lot.